Tech Head Coach Josh Pastner. Coach, if you could open up with a brief statement before we have questions.
Yep, a couple things. First off, got to give credit to Virginia. They hit a couple big shots, 48-46, and they hit Huff hit two big shots for him. Bottom line of the game is, we had 18 turnovers, I guess, here. So, 18 turnovers. We had 13 the first half, 5 the second half. And that's just, we settled down the second half. We got down more by 14. It was sort of like the Duke game. We got down and we came roaring back, and we've done that all the time. And that's the difference right there. And they had 11 offensive rebounds. So that's, 29 extra possessions in a sense, that they got on that. So 11 offensive rebounds and 18 turnovers. That's just, in a game like that, and that's been Achilles heel of ours this year has been our turnovers, and we just have to be better about that. We spend a lot of time on it. It's something that we work on, and it's just, it's just it's bit us in the rear many times. I know this might sound strange, but I really believe, we have gotten better, and we're still very close to turning the corner. And I know there's no such thing as moral victories, but Virginia is the #1 defensive team in the country based on numbers. We shot 50%. It's the best we've shot against it, at least in my 4 years here. We scored the best. I thought we had good, just the turnovers. It was just the turnovers. And we're getting better offensively. We just cannot put ourselves in that position when we have those type of turnovers. And it's bit us in the butt this game. It bit us in the butt last game versus Notre Dame. And that's just the deal.
The frustration level's got to be a little bit high at this point, given the number of close losses. And it seems like the team's a lot better than it was certainly a year ago, but the record's not really necessarily showing that.
Yeah, unfortunately, look, I understand we're in a business of there's a scoreboard, and look, that's what's great. That's what makes sports great. There's a winner and a loser, and the competitive nature, and you want to win every game. I know our record. It's not good. But we're better than our record. We're just a better team. It's the best we've been in our 4 years. I can assure you that. That doesn't give us anything moral victory or a pat on our back. I can only tell you that as for my chair, I know we're better than we've been, and we've had a lot of close losses this year. This game, Notre Dame, Arkansas, Georgia. We've just had Duke. We have lost a lot of close games this year, and Kentucky, where it comes down to those last couple minutes of possessions, and we just haven't been real good in those. And part of that, and a couple we lost without Alvarado, but a couple is just where it's bitches, our turnovers. It's bit us in the rear, and a lot of our issues this year has been based on the turnover deal. And so, we're better than our record, but I know that. From my chair, I know that, but I also understand that doesn't give you any pat on the back or any moral victories, because you kind of, the record is, that's what makes us sports. You got to win the game.
How tough was it for you offensively to be able to break them down and then have Huff back there to make up for their defensive lapses?
Yeah, part of that, but we shot 50% from the field. I don't know how many teams have shot 50% against them. We're just way better offensively. It's the most, we shot 36% from 3. It's just our turnovers. You take out, instead of 18, you just have 13. You're probably scoring, it's a couple more possessions you score. And of course, we weren't good from the free throw line today. We were 3 for 9. But you go from 18 turnovers to 12, and or even 13, and you probably score 65 points. Just because we're scoring, if you look at our pace of play and conference, we are #1 in the league in tempo, and one of the better offensive teams, it's the best offensive team we've been in a while here, and it's just the turnovers, because when we're scoring like that, you're taking away opportunities to score, and that it's got to be better about that.
Coach, you got a very confident Louisville team coming up next on the road. What did you see from your team tonight that you think can help assist you guys?
No, I again, kind of like I was saying, not to be the broken record or anything, but we're better than our record. We've lost a lot of close games. We've improved. We're better offensively. We've got to clean up our turnovers, and that's just been a reoccurring theme for us. And unfortunately, it's cost us games. So I can just tell you from my chair, any game that we go in and play, we can win. We're good enough to win. I don't know if I've ever, in our 4 years, I don't know if we were at that point at any point, but we're good enough to win every game we play at this point. Doesn't mean we're going to win the game, but you go in the game knowing you have a chance. Now you got to go produce and things like that. So we know Louisville's really, really good. They're very well coached. They got great players. I said, they were picked to win the ACC, and I had told people back in the fall that I thought they could win the national championship and be here in Atlanta. So we know how good they are. They're a great team, and we're going to have to play excellent basketball if we want to win the game.
When the offense was working, it seemed like you were trying to get to the basket and slip past into James or whomever. Was that how much of that was that?
Yeah, and we did a lot of breakdown on that, Ken. And James missed a couple early as well too. It's just we had a couple just turnovers that and it's not just this game. This is it happened in Notre Dame, and it's the guards. And Michael, Jose, Bubba had 9. And how many times, Ken, have I said it's a guards game? It's all about it. It's a guards game. And Notre Dame, our guards had 7 of the 13. This game we have 9 of the 18. You just at this level, everything in college basketball is guard play. Everything is guard play, and our guards are Michael, Jose, and Bubba. They don't have to score, and they just got to manage the game at a high level, and we just can't have those number of turnovers. And that's the whole issue. Everything's about guard play.
It seemed like they were incredibly aggressive with the way they defended the pick and roll with Jose.
Yeah, they did a good job on that. We made some adjustments the second half to maybe try to avoid a little bit of that. And I thought Jose settled in a little bit better. Again, we had some chances. We just had a couple turnovers, and then they hit a couple tough shots, and we didn't get a couple rebounds towards the end.
Steve.
One non-guard question. Moses has been such a force for you guys here in the conference. What was kind of limited today?
No, Moses' jump he's made from where he was in high school to where he is now is incredible. Very proud of Moses. The assistant coaches have done a great job on his development. I thought today maybe the physicality bothered him, but Moses has been at a very high level for a long time. One of the things I've been on Moses has been his consistency. This was from last year, and he's been very consistent for us. He's been a guy you can depend on. He's a counter. He's a defender that you can count on, and he's going to produce game in, game out. And today was probably his worst game he's played in a long time. And it's a credit to Virginia on their defense and Tony Bennett and their staff and their defense. But Moses has been very good for us. And today he didn't play as well. Part of that was probably the physicality. That maybe bothered him a little bit.
In spite of the rough night for Moses, you had Evan come off the bench and give you a little lift at that position.
Evan gave us great minutes, played his tail off. He had a tough day today. He had to go and, his uncle was really sick, and he only has a few days to live, so he visited his uncle. So I was proud of Evan. He responded well. So he had a real tough day today, but he gave us great minutes. Missed a couple free throws there, but he's always going to bust his tail for you and give you great energy.
Anything else for Coach?
Coach, why would you say that we are witnessing the sport look the way that it does this season in regards to rare road wins and not very many dominant teams? It's almost kind of got to feel like it's been March Madness all season long. Why would you say that it kind of seems like that?
Yeah, I just think there's a lot of parity in college basketball. I believe that. There's a lot of parity. I just think, there's no longer the dominant team because of no matter what school you go to, you're on television. You can go to the NBA from any school, and anybody can win the national championship. And kids now these days, the number one thing they're looking for is obviously playing time. And so the talent spread out. As long as the NCAA keeps 13 scholarships for everybody, they will continue to have parity like you're seeing right now, year in, year out. But I will say, for us, we've done a better job on the road than we've done at home. We've done a really nice job on the road. Just we haven't won enough at home.